Did you know you can eat carbs and still lose fat? Crazy, right? Watch the rest of the video to find out how. My name is JV Cosico of Simplify Fitness, and I'm currently studying for my Bachelor's of Science degree in kinesiology. Having over 8 years of experience with exercise and nutritional sciences, I am dedicating this channel to bringing scientifically supported fitness information to accelerate your progress in your fitness journey. Welcome to the How to Really Lose Weight 2021 video series. In this series, I will cover the most important scientific concepts related to losing weight. Today's video is episode 2 of the How to Really Lose Weight 2021 series and will provide an overview of macronutrients and micronutrients as well as actionable steps to take advantage of your newfound knowledge. First, I will go over what proteins, carbs, fats, vitamins, and minerals are, as well as how these relate to energy balance, the topic of the first video of the series. Afterwards, I will outline methods on how to determine how much of each you should eat to accelerate your fat loss journey. As previously stated, this is episode 2 of the series. I highly encourage you to watch the first episode on energy balance, as that episode discusses the foundation from which this episode will build. Click the link on the upper right hand corner of the screen or the link in the description to watch part 1, Energy Balance. As mentioned in the first episode, I suggest you check out The Muscle and Strength Pyramid, Nutrition by Dr. Eric Helms, Andrea Valdez, and Andy Morgan if you want to read the detailed science for these topics. The link to the book as well as the links to the author's pages is in the description. Theory: Macronutrients. Macronutrients are nutrients that provide calories or energy and are required in large amounts to maintain body functions and carry out the activities of daily life. There are 3 broad classes of macronutrients: proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Macronutrients will play the second most significant role after energy balance in your fat loss results. Protein. As one of the building blocks of body tissue and occasional fuel source, proteins are essential nutrients for humans. Our bodies require protein for growth and maintenance. Aside from water, proteins are the most abundant kind of molecule in the body. Protein can be found in all cells of the body and is a major structural component of all cells in the body, especially muscle. The most important aspect and defining characteristic of protein from a nutritional standpoint is its amino acid composition. Proteins are made of chains of amino acids. Some of these amino acids cannot be synthesized within the human body. These amino acids are called essential amino acids, and there are 9 of them. We must obtain these 9 essential amino acids from our diet in order to prevent protein energy malnutrition. The best dietary sources of protein are usually animal-based proteins, such as meat, seafood, and eggs. While there are good sources of plant protein, most are incomplete proteins, so you should eat different types of plant proteins to get all of the amino acids your body needs if you choose the plant-based route. It is incredibly important to meet your protein needs, especially during a fat loss phase, to prevent muscle loss and promote adequate recovery from exercise. Preventing muscle loss is essential as you will be able to keep your calories higher if you maintain more muscle mass. Your body requires energy in the form of calories to maintain lean tissue. In contrast, you will have to eat less calories if you lose muscle mass during a fat loss phase. Losing muscle would also mean a performance decrease in the gym, so it is imperative to fend off muscle loss to maintain your hard-earned results. Who wouldn't want to eat more food, stay strong, and lose fat? Fats, also known as lipids, are incredibly misunderstood as a macronutrient. There was a big trend a couple years back that demonized dietary fats. In reality, dietary fats are actually essential for your health and well-being. They are a major and dense source of food energy and play important structural and metabolic functions in most living beings, including energy storage, waterproofing, hormone production, and thermal insulation. Some vitamins must have fat to dissolve so that they can be used by your body. The human body can produce the fat that it needs from other food ingredients, except for a few essential fatty acids that must be included in your diet. However, fats are high in calories, so you need to balance your fat intake against the other foods you eat so that you don't take in more calories than you need. According to the Mayo Clinic, there are 2 main types of potentially harmful dietary fats: saturated fat and trans fat. These fats can increase total blood cholesterol level, LDL cholesterol, and triglyceride levels, but lower HDL cholesterol. This can increase your risk of cardiovascular disease. Most fats that have a high percentage of saturated fat or that contain trans fat are solid at room temperature. Because of this, they're typically referred to as solid fats. The potentially helpful types of dietary fat are primarily unsaturated fats. Monounsaturated fatty acid. This type of fat is found in a variety of foods and oils. Studies show that eating foods rich in monounsaturated fatty acids instead of saturated fats improves blood cholesterol levels, which can decrease your risk of heart disease and may also help decrease the risk of type 2 diabetes. Polyunsaturated fatty acids. This type of fat is found mostly in plant-based foods and oils. Evidence shows that eating foods rich in polyunsaturated fatty acids instead of saturated fats improves blood cholesterol levels, which can decrease your risk of heart disease and may also help decrease the risk of type 2 diabetes. Omega-3 fatty acids. One type of polyunsaturated fat is made up of mainly omega-3 fatty acids and may be especially beneficial for heart health. Omega-3, found in some types of fatty fish, appears to decrease the risk of coronary artery disease. There are plant sources of omega-3 fatty acids. However, it hasn't been yet determined whether replacements for fish oil have had the same health effects as omega-3 fatty acids from fish. Foods made up of mostly monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats are liquid at room temperature, such as canola oil, olive oil, and corn oil. Fish high in omega-3 fatty acids include salmon and tuna. Recommendations for fat intake. Because some fats are potentially helpful and others are potentially harmful to your health, it pays to know which ones you're eating and whether you're meeting recommendations. The 2015 through 2020 Dietary Guidelines for Americans offers the following recommendations about fat intake. Avoid trans fat. Limit saturated fat to less than 10% of calories a day. Replace saturated fat with healthier monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the current black sheep of the macronutrient family, as there seems to be a trend to hate on carbs these days. Many diets, such as the keto diet, exclude carbohydrates altogether. Unlike dietary proteins and fats, carbohydrates are actually non-essential. However, this does not mean that carbohydrates do not have a place in a healthy diet, and you can even use carbohydrates to your advantage when it comes to your fat loss journey. Carbohydrates are the sugars, starches, and fibers found in fruits, grains, vegetables, and milk products. Carbohydrates are the body's main source of energy, as they provide fuel for the central nervous system and energy for working muscles. They also prevent protein from being used as an energy source and enable fat metabolism. Though carbs are often blamed for weight gain, the right kind of carbs can actually help you lose and maintain a healthy weight because they contain fiber. It is difficult to get sufficient fiber on a low-carb diet. Dietary fiber helps you feel full and generally comes in relatively low-calorie foods. If the body has insufficient carbohydrate intake or stores, it will consume protein for fuel. This is problematic because the body needs protein to make and maintain muscle tissue. There are three main types of carbohydrates. Sugar. Sugar is the simplest form of carbohydrate and occurs naturally in some foods, including fruits, vegetables, milk, and milk products. Types of sugar includes fruit sugar, fructose, table sugar, sucrose, and milk sugar, lactose. Starch. Starch is a complex carbohydrate, meaning it is made of many sugar units bonded together. Starch occurs naturally in vegetables, grains, and cooked dry beans and peas. Fiber. Fiber also is a complex carbohydrate. Now that you know the basics about macronutrients, let's dive into micronutrients. Micronutrients are one of the major groups of nutrients your body needs for healthy development, disease prevention, and well-being. They include vitamins and minerals. Micros do not contain calories and are needed in much smaller amounts compared to macros. We must obtain micronutrients from your food since your body cannot produce vitamins and minerals, for the most part. That's why they're also referred to as essential nutrients. Vitamins are organic substances produced by plants and animals. There are two types, fat-soluble and water-soluble vitamins. Fat-soluble vitamins include vitamins A, D, E, and K, and are more easily absorbed when fat is present and can be stored in your body fat. Water-soluble vitamins include vitamins C and B vitamins and can dissolve in water. Minerals are inorganic, meaning they can be found in soil and water and are not produced by living organisms like vitamins. There are 16 essential minerals for proper nutrition, which includes two main types: macrominerals, those you need in larger quantities like calcium, phosphorus, and potassium, and trace minerals, those you need in very small amounts like iron, zinc, and iodine. The essential vitamins and minerals are used in billions of biochemical reactions that occur in your body, such as daily energy and metabolism, tissue maintenance, immune function, and your heartbeat. Without adequate amounts, your body can really suffer. Because of the vast role they play, a single deficiency in one vitamin or mineral can create many problems if not corrected. And on the flip side, correcting even a minor deficiency can greatly improve your overall health and well-being. While supplementation can certainly prevent deficiencies and improve your nutrition if needed, your best source of micronutrients is from naturally occurring sources, nutrient-dense foods. Eating a variety of fruit, vegetables, and whole grains and quality proteins is a great way to get your body the nutrition it needs. Now that you have a basic understanding of macronutrients and micronutrients, how can you leverage this information to help you with your fat loss journey? Before we go to the action steps, please consider liking the video if you got value out of this video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next episodes of this series. Also, consider sharing this video with a friend that's also starting on their fat loss journey so they can start with a good understanding of the science behind fat loss. Action steps. These action steps require you to know your target daily caloric intake. I highly suggest watching episode 1, Energy Balance, to find out how to determine the appropriate caloric intake for your goals. We will be using me as an example for these action steps as it will better illustrate the process of determining your daily macronutrient intake. The first step is to calculate your daily caloric intake for your weight loss goals. We found out in the last video that my maintenance calories are 2559 calories per day. If I want to lose 1 pound per week, then I will need to eat at a 500 calorie deficit per day. Remember that 1 pound of fat equals 3,500 calories, so eating a 500 calorie deficit per day for 7 days puts me at a 3,500 calorie deficit per week, which means that I should lose about 1 pound per week. So we take 2559 calories minus 500 calories and get my daily caloric intake goal of 2059 calories to lose 1 pound per week. We will use 2059 calories to calculate my target macronutrient intakes. The second step is to calculate daily protein intake. Dr. Eric Helms recommends between 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight in the Muscle and Strength Pyramid nutrition book. I will use 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight for my calculations. Because I weigh 175 pounds, my target protein intake will be 175 grams. We then multiply 175 by 4 because there are 4 calories per gram of protein to see how much of my caloric intake needs to be allocated for protein consumption. We get a value of 700 calories. The third step is to calculate fat intake. Dr. Eric Helms recommends allocating 15 to 25% of calories for fat intake while dieting for most people. I will use 25% for my calculations. We multiply 2059 calories by 0.25 to get my calories from fat, which equals 514.75 calories. Since there are 9 calories per gram of fat, we divide 514.75 calories by 9 to get my fat intake target of around 57 grams. The fourth step is to calculate carbohydrate intake. We can calculate my carbohydrate intake by allocating the remaining calories to this macronutrient. To do this, we take 2059 calories minus 700 calories from protein, minus 514.75 calories from fat, and get 844.25 for carbohydrates. Since there are 4 calories per gram of carbohydrate, we divide 844.25 calories by 4 to get my carbohydrate target of around 211 grams. The fifth step is relatively simple. By eating mostly whole food sources such as vegetables, rice, potatoes, and chicken, you will most likely hit your micronutrient needs. If you want to make sure that you meet your micronutrient needs, you can take a daily multivitamin. Okay, we went over a lot today, so let's recap. In this video, we learned about the basics of macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are nutrients that provide calories or energy and are required in large amounts to maintain body functions and carry out the activities of daily life. There are 3 broad classes of macronutrients: proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Micronutrients are one of the major groups of nutrients your body needs for healthy development, disease prevention, and well-being. They include vitamins and minerals. Micros do not contain calories and are needed in much smaller amounts compared to macros. We must obtain micronutrients from food since your body cannot produce vitamins and minerals for the most part. In order to apply these concepts to losing weight, you should, number 1, calculate your daily caloric requirement according to your goal rate of loss. Number 2, calculate your protein intake by eating 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Remember that there are 4 calories per gram of protein. Number 3, calculate fat intake by allocating 15 to 25% of calories for fat intake. Remember there are 9 calories per gram of fat. Number 4, calculate carbohydrate intake by allocating the remaining calories left from subtracting calories from fat and protein from the total daily caloric target. And number 5, eat mostly whole food sources and consider possibly taking a multivitamin to hit your micronutrient levels. Now you understand the importance of macronutrients and micronutrients to a healthy diet, as well as how to leverage your knowledge of these concepts to help with your fat loss goals. Remember that macronutrients and micronutrients are only 2 of the important concepts you need to understand in order to build a successful fat loss plan. Remember to subscribe so that you don't miss out on the rest of the video series. I will be covering the topics of nutrient timing and supplementation as it relates to fat loss in the rest of the video series. Consider liking the video if you got value out of this video. Also, share the video with some friends that are looking to start their weight loss journey so that they can start with a scientific understanding of fat loss. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.